Did you know anything about his father, Nicholas John Cassavetes? And the fact is, I do know a few things about his father, and for those who don't know, even though he wasn't famous in America, he was extremely famous in the Hellenic American community. He was a graduate of Harvard, and he in fact created one of the largest travel agencies in the United States in the 1920s. It was called Faros. Eventually, later, he formed the Kασσαβέτης travel agency that was located on 42nd Street. But some of the things that he did is he was invited. He was one of the few people that were invited. He was a soldier during World War I, but he was invited. My apologies. He was invited to be at the talks of the Treaty of Versailles, actually, which was very unusual at the time. He was actually invited to be at the Treaty of Versailles. When he was there, he was actually pushing the cause of Epirus. In particular, he wanted Epirus to be not only part of Greece, but he wanted Βόρειο Epirus, or northern Epirus, to be a part of Greece. I don't know how many people know those facts, but it's important to know that. Also, when he came to the United States, he started a lot of different groups, and he was the head of the Pan-Epirotian Society of that particular time, which was a major society, and he had a lot to do with international relations between Greece and America, and at the same time, he had a lot to do, in particular, with some of the bias issues that were taking place in the United States during the 1920s and 1930s. And as a matter of fact, he did an analysis, because in those days they wanted to show, as they do today, that all the immigrants are basically, a lot of the immigrants are criminals. So one of these statistics that was brought out was approximately 777 Greeks out of 100,000 Greeks were in jail. And he disproved it. He actually did a survey with a group of people, obviously, in every state in the Union. They checked every prison, and they found basically that there was only 40 some odd Greeks per 100,000 in jails, and he actually wrote a report and was in front of Congress and all the rest of that. So I will stop, because we want to do the more important thing, which is the lifetimes and works of John Cassavetes. But before I do that, I want to introduce a very good friend to say a few words for us, James Demetro.
I want to thank Lou for inviting the Hellenic Film Society to participate in this event. Our main goal is to promote Greek cinema in the U.S., but from time to time we like to acknowledge the work of directors of Greek descent who work in other languages in other countries. And of course, when it comes to John Cassavetes as a Greek American, I know I'm very proud of him, and I'm sure that's true of everyone in the room. The second part of this event is on Sunday at the Museum of the Moving Image at 4 p.m. We're going to be screening what I believe is Cassavetes' most mainstream film. Our experts perhaps will correct me if I'm wrong. The film is Gloria. It's a wonderful film with a sentimental streak that I know will appeal to Greeks. You're welcome to attend. There is a discount code for tickets. It's Sunday, all caps, 20. If you go to our website, it will direct you to the Museum of the Moving Image ticket sales. And with that discount, you can save substantially. Thank you very much for being here. I thank Lou for his inspiration in getting this event off the ground, and I hope you enjoy both the panel tonight and the film on Sunday. Thank you.
We also have the honor of having the Consul General of the Hellenic Republic here with us, and I'd like him to say a few words. Again, historically, it's very important for people to understand that also in the 1930s, because of certain things that were taking place in the United States in terms of the Depression and all that, John Cassavetes' father took him to Greece. And when they came back, he was 9 years old, and he didn't speak a word of English. With that, Consul General, Constantine Koutos.
Thank you, Lou. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Having a panel with the distinguished speakers tonight, I think I will stay away to say a few words. I will say only congratulations, Lou. Congratulations to Jimmy Demetro and all the people that are working to promote the Greek civilizations and everything related to that. And please, Lou, keep going. Keep going. Thank you very much.
Okay, at this stage, we're going to have George Stephanopoulos take over the event. He's an independent producer. For those of you who came in, there is an agenda here that also has the biographies of the different people who are on the panels, as well as George. We're so fortunate, and I'm so fortunate, quite frankly, that in speaking to Jimmy, he was in Thessaloniki at the time. More recently, he did send me an email and he said, Lou, why don't you get George Stephanopoulos to be the panel moderator? And certainly he's done an excellent job of putting together a fantastic panel, and we're honored to have him here today. George.